sleeping. Humans may be the ones who the code on cell phones, written language, and sliced bread, but these accomplishments don't mean much to huge animals that rule their parts of the world. Let it be a 12-foot wide crab or a rock-lifting frog. Today, we've got a list of 10 abnormally large animals that actually exist. Stay tuned till the end to catch a glimpse of a car-sized stingray. Let's begin, shall we? Number 10. Giant Gippsland Earthworm. They say everything in Australia can kill you, including crazy, poisonous eastern brown snakes, enormous saltwater crocodiles, and humans. The continent's long isolation has given rise to an incredibly unique diversity of life. But believe me when I say this, its most remarkable creature is a gentle, extremely delicate creature few of you have had the privilege to see, the giant Gippsland earthworm, which can grow to some 6 feet long. Many people have mistaken this beast for a snake, and we've got to say, the resemblance is just uncanny. This is an extremely vulnerable species, isolated to just 150 square miles at the southeast tip of Australia. Its habitat, once dense forest, has been almost entirely converted to farmland, where tilling and toxins have pushed them to the brink of extinction. While these worms only surface during heavy rains to avoid drowning in soggy soil, you can actually hear them underfoot. I don't think Australia can get any weirder than this. Number 9. The Japanese Spider Crab. When you hear about crabs, you usually have those small-sized crustaceans that we love in our seafood diet. But there is one crab that's been blowing the minds of many people since its discovery. The Japanese spider crab is the largest crab species in the world and inhabits the waters of Japan. This crab has the largest lifespan of any known arthropod, reaching about 4 meters long when fully stretched out, and can weigh up to 44 pounds. It lives in very deep waters, and it's very difficult to find. You really need to go all out to catch one of these guys. Special equipment is required when fishing for them because of their incredibly strong and sharp claws. However, in contrast to their terrifying appearance, the Japanese spider crab has been said to have a gentle demeanor. So, if you'd like to have a massive crab included in your next meal, you can consider fishing for a Japanese spider crab. We hope you get a tasty reward for your bravery. Number 8. African Goliath Frog. As you probably know, Goliath means really big. And that's what this frog is. Really, really big. Not only that, but this frog is also a gym freak. The African Goliath frog is so strong, it can literally move rocks. And if you think that's the end of it, you'd be dead wrong. This beast can make its own ponds too. No, we're not kidding. Though some frogs are thumbnail size, the Goliath frog is bigger than a whole human foot, measuring up to 34 centimeters and weighing up to 7.2 pounds. It doesn't start off so big though. The Goliath frog tadpole is the same size as the tadpole of an average frog, but just keeps growing and growing. The adult looks like a lot of other frogs as well, just a whole lot bigger. Although these giant frogs have been around longer than humans, we still have a lot to learn about them. But we do know that these amphibians can move rocks to actually build their own ponds to safeguard their children. Now that is one protective parent. Number 7. Biggest alligator. If you can spot the difference between an alligator and a crocodile, you have all my respect. Gators are much bigger in size compared to crocs and can easily chug on a human like it's a barbecue meal. But when not irritated, these predators are pretty calm and peaceful animals. Just look at this alligator, strolling around, having a walk in the park, while the people around him stay stunned. I know that I mentioned that alligators are huge, but this is probably the biggest one we've ever seen. Just look at the size of its triple chin. Looks like he's been feeding a lot on his fellow comrades. This monster was spotted in Circle B Bar Reserve, Florida, and instantly made it to the headlines. It seems like animals of monstrous sizes are more normal in Florida than actually the tax-paying citizens. What do you guys think? Does this gator pay taxes? It sure does seem to eat a lot. Number 6. The African Giant Snail. Slimy and gooey, snails are basically slugs in a shell. When you hear of snails, we're sure that the image that comes to mind is less than a few inches long. But the African giant snail that I'm here to show you will shake all your thoughts about snails. And no, they haven't been genetically modified in any way or fed any Big Macs. They exist this way naturally. They are the largest land snails that are known to have ever existed, with a size of 8 inches in length and 4 inches in width. These snails are known to be voracious eaters and can eat anything from living to dead plant matter. They are known to be able to eat over 500 types of plants. They have an incredibly huge capacity of reproduction and can deposit more than 200 eggs after mating, which eventually mature and start munching over food crops, destroying them. So, they're not the king of pets you'd want in your garden. Number 5. Bismarck Masked Flying Fox. If you're a Dracula enthusiast, this one might interest you very much. At first glance, this animal looks like something straight out of some horror movie or haunted house, and the second glance, honestly, it still looks like that. This creepy bird is called the Bismarck Masked Flying Fox. Among its many interesting features and biological info, the Bismarck Masked Flying Fox is one of the rarest species of mammals in which the males can lactate. The weird yet magnificent creature has had a rather difficult time in the past couple of years. In 2009, the IUCN classified the species as near threatened. The organization's move had them noting that the rate of decline is almost high enough to reclassify the species as vulnerable. I don't know what animals ended up making this bad, and honestly, at this point, I don't want to know. Number 4. The Aldabra Tortoise. We know tortoises are amazing and probably the most low-key creatures out there. They're known for living a long life, but did you know how big they can get? If not, then you're in for a big surprise. The Aldabra giant tortoise is the biggest species of tortoise out there and is also one of the world's longest living animals. It has an enormous dome-shaped shell which acts as protective armor to the soft, vulnerable body of the Aldabra giant tortoise underneath. Even though it isn't immortal, the Aldabra tortoise's lifespan is basically more than twice that of humans. These modern-day dinosaurs can live over 230 years. Yeah, you heard that right. They can grow quickly and can reach 200 pounds before their 15th birthday, if fed properly. Craziest part is, had we not ruined their habitat, they would be living for another 250 years. Number 3. Coconut crab. You may be familiar with hermit crabs that totter along the beach, toting their bodies in seashells. Meet their enormous relatives, coconut crabs. Their leg span is up to a meter, they have incredible grip strength, and they can lift objects the weight of a 10-year-old child. That doesn't mean you give it one for lifting, though. To say that coconut crabs are big would be an understatement. They're actually a mega crab species. The spider crab might be the world's largest crab, but the coconut crab is the largest crustacean that spends all of its adult life on land, with a Guinness World Record to prove it. It's also the biggest land-dwelling arthropod. These behemoth crabs can live for as long as 60 years, eating coconuts all day long off of the beach. This guy lives a better life than most of us do out here. Number 2. Giant Chinese pig. Many people might agree that pigs are somewhat adorable, in their own way at least. But have you ever wondered how truly menacing and terrifying they can get if blown up to the right size? Well, this particular farm, deep in the southern region of China, might give you all the answers you need. In this farm, there lives a very big pig that is as heavy as a polar bear. Yeah, a polar bear-sized pig. Think about that for a second. The 1,102-pound beast is part of a herd that's being bred to become giant swine. At slaughter, some of the pigs get so huge that they can sell for more than 10,000 yuan, around $1,500. This unbelievable method of rearing pigs came as a response to the country's increasing pork shortage problem, as China is home to the world's most voracious pork consumers. I don't know any famous or wise sayings about pigs, but just assume I had something clever about how pigs save lives here planned. Number 1. Trigger the cow. This cow has beaten all odds to become the chunkiest of all the chunky boys. Well, here's an unbelievable story. That's unbelievable with the word bull in it because, you know, it's a cow. Whatever, that sounded very clear in my head. This is a story about a Frisian named Trigger, who was faced with the end of a shotgun after his farmer decided he didn't need any more males. How amazing it'd be if humans come to that conclusion, right? After persuading the farmer to let the young stud carry on living his life, the young bull decided to pay back his savior by becoming a rather remarkable creature. At 7 years old, Trigger was already racing a staggering 6 feet and 5 inches, and what's more, he was still growing. He weighed nearly 1.2 tons and measured a jaw-dropping 14 feet from nose to tail. Trigger's enormous weight means he could potentially make 7,665 Big Macs, or even 6,137 Burger King Whoppers. Now, that's a lot of fat. Although the idea of equating him to burgers might not sit well with some, those numbers are completely true. Believe me, I'm a mathematician in my free time. The farmer decided to keep him as a pet, and the big boy lived a serene life far removed from that of your regular livestock, as should a superstar bull. Which one of these giant animals did you find the most fascinating? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.